So welcome everybody to the second hour of Mindshifters Radio. Today is Tuesday, March the 31st, 2020, last day of March. It's hard to believe. Tomorrow will be April Fool's Day. Anyway, welcome to the show. Our calling number is 563-999-3581 and press 1, and that will put you into queue to talk to us. And we would love to hear your comments and your questions because that makes this your show. Welcome, Michael, and we do already have a caller.
Awesome. Thank you, dear heart, for the welcome, and we're holding the space for everyone as the unfolding of many opportunities to heal fear happen in our culture. And we're here to hold the space. And, Jeannie, let's talk to our first caller.
Awesome. It's area code 517. You are on the air. Is this Angie?
Hello, it is.
Hey.
Hey there, young lady. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Lucy and Dr. Tim. Magda, Michael and Jean, hello. I'm here. I'm supporting myself through a strong energy shifts.
So what's moving? What's happening for you?
I know, so since yesterday, really a big part of this, what's opening up is force. And
repeat that again.
Today, what's opening up in a big way for me is force. And
force
there's force, like the feeling of both sides of it being forced, and also forcing myself, being enforcing myself, and abusively. There's a core memory that I get. It's sort of right in line with the young memory of my mom making me apologize and me saying no, and with my uncle. So there's another memory of me when I was a teenager, and this seems to be central. I was young, maybe 8th grade, somewhere between 8th and 9th grade, and I had just started menstruating.
Right.
And our family was having a pool party, and I did not want to put on a bathing suit or get in the pool or even be socializing with people a whole lot. So I was choosing to stay inside mostly, and I remember I was watching a hockey game on television, and my dad and my aunt came into the living room and were lovingly jostling me to come down, and I said, no, I don't want to. Well, they picked my body up, and I fought to not go. And they did take my body and holding my ankles and wrists and threw me in the pool with my clothes on. I was saying no, and I was fighting, but also like being protective because there were stairs. They had to take me down the stairs to get to the pool, down the stairway of the deck. And this was in front of other family members like my grandparents. And when I came up out of the water, I was experiencing strong rage, and I pulled my glasses off of my face, and I broke them, and I threw them into the pool. And then I felt horrified, like so much shame and embarrassment that I just remember seeing the look on my grandma's face, like, what's wrong with her? And so
Breathe.
I just
take a minute and breathe into that.
It's like there's it's like I'm like flipping between the channels on an old school TV where I'm going in between like staticky channels, or like there's rabbit ears on top of the roof, and I'm feeling and reaching for the clear channel or channel clarity.
Well, yesterday you talked about opening up a can of worms, and just this one event is such a huge can of worms. I mean, a young girl who's probably got, who knows what has been explained to her about menstruation, what's going on emotionally, the hormonal changes that are happening, and then and I'm sure it was done in a prodding. It sounds like a desire to engage you, but certainly a fairly brutal way of forcing you into the place you didn't want to go, into the party. So there's I can easily imagine worksheets on 20 different topics there.
The pool, so the water, being under the water, and so when I was in the bath just now, and Dr. Tim was talking on just like being with the overwhelm and letting it be okay with it, and rather than try to because I can tell in my system how I've established a way of not allowing myself to tune in, to let it come up, to let it open.
Right.
And it burns. It hurts. So there's images of being drowned. They're not mine from this life. Of course, I have an uncle, my dad's brother, and it was my dad's sister that this event happened with. Their brother and my little cousin, he was 3.5, and they drowned in the lake. They went fishing and they didn't come home. They didn't come out of the lake for 10 days. But I get a visceral, like, body memory experience of being held under the water, being drowned in my own bathtub. At least it's like a dream. The experience is in the waking state. And it seems to be tied to, well, it's force.
And notice how attractive you have been to force in your life aside from yourself. In your history, how you've gone back to that over and over. And I'd invite you to, it's what we do when the automatic decision system kicks in. There's no rationale, no logic. It's just going to push us into whatever it pushes us into. And it's as you get conscious, as you're doing now, that you can start to access those deeper energies and free yourself of the compulsion that comes with them. So I invite you to just take a moment, and I'm going to invite everybody that's listening to the show to do the same, just in support of you, and just let yourself focus into what's moving inside of you, physically, mentally, emotionally, with what you've shared, and just listen to your body and notice if there's any tightness anywhere.
There's like a searing pain inside. It's inside my bone structure of my rib cage where it meets in my sternum and where it spreads out.
So
and
how about just, you remember the still point breath. How about just taking a moment and let go of words for a moment. Just do a half a dozen or so connected breaths and see what moves. softening your body. Let your feet soften. Let your palms of your hands go. And what's happening?
A thought arrived within another experience. There's there's this resistance that comes up like, no, God, please no, don't make it.
Breathe into that. So the Creator is never going to force you into something that you would ever have to say, God, please, no, God. So you were addressing, I'd offer, your own ego mind or something or someone in the culture, as opposed to the Creator forcing you into anything. And I'd invite you in the context of that, if that makes sense, to just take a moment to step into trust with the Creator. Passage in the ancient scriptures where the Creator is speaking directly to humans and saying, I only have good in mind for you.
I know that.
Yeah. So if you replace the word God with the object of attention, that phrase is really aimed at, who would it be? Please, no.
It's both me in certain situations and mostly they, and I could tell you so many different theys. The one that I'm getting really strongly right now is in 2017, after we came home from North Carolina. My mom insisted on having me evaluated by emergency personnel, and I respectfully declined their suggestion and request for me to take a substance into my body that I knew was not supportive of me healing. And I think that there were 13 as they came in. Staff, personnel. I guess intuitively I knew what was going to happen because I told my sister to leave the room. She didn't want to see what was about to take place. And I knew that I didn't want to make her responsible in some way.
So let yourself open. Go all the way into that energy and know that you've got a whole community of people here right now that are really clearly beaming love in your direction to dissolve all of this trauma energy. Yeah. Breathe into it. It's safe to embrace all of it now.
Oh, God.
Let go of that block in the breath and let the breath into that area. Let the breath deeply into that area that your throat wants to close off. Remember, this is just burning off energy that never belonged in your field. No such experience should have ever happened to you or anybody else. And so just let that energy burn off. Experience your head being cradled, gently cradled. And you remember from the energy field work training, the still point where a burst of energy flows through you and just burns off what doesn't belong. So imagine right now that your structure is reaching that still point. And you're safe. You're safe, and anything that is ready to open, there's enough love here to absorb it all. And know that you'll be treated with absolute integrity, with honor, gentleness, and respect. And you can just let all of that, which was impacted in that experience, and any energy related to it from any time in your history. Now it's the time to let that still point happen and just let it go. Mention that your energy field is like the gold nugget that's being heated in the fire. The impurities are being burned off. And the only thing that's left is your true essence, love.
Like I'm being electrocuted.
Let the energy go. That's it. Just let it move. If there's any
Like,
part of your structure that's tight, go ahead.
It's not tight. It's like this reflex to
to tighten and lock on it.
It's to block this, to block my vagina, to block being raped.
Mm. So once again, know that you'll be treated with 1,000% integrity, and you're safe. Remember, this is about a one-way movement of energy. Old, locked-in trauma energies moving out. You're totally secure and you're totally safe and honored in this space. And there is absolutely enough love here to absorb all that you're ready to do, just every layer, every level, genetic or otherwise, that you're willing to open right now and just breathe through and let that energy just be burned off.
Yeah, it is. It's giving. It's like giving birth.
Pay attention to the energy moving in your arms and your wrists and your hands.
It feels numb, like it's fallen asleep, type of needles and pins, tingly. And my lips, my face. I feel like I remember the action and the behavior, like the muscle memory of smoking a cigarette. Or nursing.
So have you ever smoked?
Yeah.
So are you in touch with what you were shutting down with nicotine and the other 500 chemicals in a cigarette?
Life. Love.
So how about a mind shifter? Breathe into that.
Tyler's going to write it for me.
Awesome. So it's safe and healing for me to embrace and have life flow through me 100% all the time. And notice what's happening. Is there anything happening in your throat right now?
Yeah, it's like, in my mind, it's like, Michael, no, it's not. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
So where that's closing
like
down,
like
I got it. So notice where your throat, your jaw all want to close down on that energy. Pay attention to that. Breathe into it. Let it open.
Okay.
The dog's even there to support you. So notice and remember that when that attack was coming at you, that what you would do would start to shut down as a protection and try to hold that energy out, blocking the flow of life. And so now let your throat, your esophagus open. Your diaphragm. Your hips, your pelvis. You're safe. And notice that Tyler is there with integrity to support you. And it is safe to experience life fully.
I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Okay. If you do, that's okay. If there's something for your body to throw off, that's perfectly fine. Notice around behind your neck. In your jaw. Soften and let it open. Breathe into it.
I remember watching my mom forced to leave her body. and simultaneously celebrating her return home. So, she's here.
So what's happening?
I just love her.
So can you express that and just let that life energy flow through your throat and that presence of love that you have for her, and let everything from your throat up into your head just open to embrace that energy of love?
Yeah. So strong. I feel like lightning.
It's a massive amount of energy to face and deal with.
Like
You remember Paul's... Go ahead.
It's just like being on a cross or something. Look at what it does.
So let every tension point soften. You recall that Paul talked about we see as though through a glass darkly. And all of these darkened energies and darkened memories block our perception and the truth of who we are. And so understanding that, allow yourself to just embrace whatever energies are ready to move. Just know that we're here holding the space of love, and you can let whatever is darkening your field, you can just do mass exodus of it. Just let it breathe and let it move. Is something happening on the left side of your chest?
The left side, one of the dogs is licking my palm. My structure is softening around. Like I feel like I'm like an antenna, from like a rabbit ear antenna. I mean, it's moving, slight, just small adjustments, but my structure is. I am in the position like on the cross. My arms are extended. My left foot is crossed over my right, and my spinal column is adjusting. Yeah, there's no doubt.
And notice that sweet presence of love just there licking your hand, saying, I got you. How cool is that?
And Tyler, to acknowledge he's holding my temple is very much love. I feel like my throat feels really tight and on both sides.
So Tyler, remember the energy field work where you create a V? You put your hands together and create a V and just let her head cradle in your hands? You can do that. Just let her head cradle in your hands. And that will tend to support opening everything. You might want to uncross your feet so that you're open and safe. And know that it's safe to let life flow through you fully.
I think it's probably just like an exodus is happening.
Yeah, exactly. And you're custom designed for that love to flow through you, and as it does, it flushes everything out. That is the exodus.
It tried to happen before, and they stopped it. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Getting licked by myself.
Are you breathing, Tyler?
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome support.
I'm so blessed.
Then Tyler, from that still point, remember the move where you just put your fingers, just let them slide off the base of the skull, and just hold with your fingertips on her neck, and just let her head sink down into your hands. Yeah, there you go. Breathe into that. And anybody else that's listening, if there's energy moving for you, and let yourself breathe as well. And imagine those hands gently, lovingly caressing your head and opening that energy field to process out whatever needs to move, whatever's ready for any individual that's listening. Now we're in the future. Yeah, nice. And Joan Tufts from Birmingham just texted you in the WhatsApp group saying, Angie, there are lots of us holding this space for you right now. And breathing with you.
Thank you all so much. There's so much adoration. There's the energy of adoration and awe. And really awe.
That sounds like life. Flowing through you. Hey. So Darren just sent you a heart. Susan and Tim Bingham from the summer just sent you a heart. Gary, who you haven't met yet, just sent a message saying, Angie, you are so loved. Urati from this summer just sent you a heart. What a team. What a team. So awesome. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. You're safe. You're safe. You'll be honored for it. Go for it. So as you breathe, the image keeps coming from the intensive in Oak Island back in 2017, and your son trying to beat on you.
My boy, Michael, my boy.
Soften your throat. Soften your throat. Let all of that go. Just let it open. Remember the first time you held that young man as a baby?
Yes.
Remember that about him. Yes, he's taken on some other characteristics and working through them. But remember that about him. That's the truth of him.
He knows. He knows. I know that part of him. He knows me. That's all on my left side, my left ovary, my left hand.
Julie Haverstick just sent a message to you, sending love, sharing that space. And Uraji sent a message that Dahlia, a friend of hers from Chicago, is holding this space for you as well.
My dog just leaned up against. They're both laying against my left abdomen and my left face, just hanging out. I feel like there's this surge of knowingness, like consciousness that wants to be allowed to come through me, and like I want to go get my boy. I want to bring him home. I want us to go home.
So the biggest gift you can give him at this point is to let loose of all of the trauma that's ever been in your physiology, in your genes, in your bloodline, that passed on to him, that came to expression from him toward you. And join you in holding the space to see him in that original purity as he's able to breathe off that trauma and that pain. And if there was ever any attack energy from you toward him, to let yourself soften into that and let that loose.
I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to make my peace.
Magda from this summer just sent a message saying, holding you in love, light, and compassion. Thank you, Magda.
Oh.
Yeah, lady, this is truly a global healing event. We've got Darren over there in Scotland and Magda in Theodosia, Chicago folks, Bristol, Virginia.
It's part of me.
Cincinnati,
My mom.
Birmingham, Chicago again. You got wishes coming in from all over, young lady.
My mom is here reminding me that we're worthy and that it's not just for me. For me, it's not about personality. We're worthy. We're worthy of this healing.
I'm with you 100%. Let your throat open. Let that space up back under your jaw, back into your ears.
There's a Kundalini. Wow.
Now I was just going to say, let your pelvis soften.
I feel like I could shoot lightning bolts out of my palms.
Imagine that you're that young princess in Frozen just singing at the top of your lungs. Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, my body's like, is it time to dance yet? Can we dance yet?
Well, there you go. All right. Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh. Thank you, Mama India, for all your support, too.
Mm-hmm.
Earth. Oh, wow. Wowie. Oh, I felt like it feels like my cells are singing, and I just want with every ounce of my being to express how much I love and appreciate every single person. Thank you all so much. From my toes, from the depths, from way beyond. Yeah.
Well, I have this suspicion that everybody's returning the same energy to you. Because you're not in this alone.
Maybe it was Cary Grant. I don't know. Somebody, Ain't Life Grand? I don't even know where that's coming through. It's like this antenna. moving around. Oh, wow.
Just breathe now. Imagine you're taking your breath in through your skull into your brain and just allowing a total restructuring of everything that's ever happened in your brain. Physically, mentally, emotionally, structurally. Just breathe into that and let the whole energy field that we call your brain come back into perfect balance and alignment.
The girl called Angie wants to say there's some pretty wild things that have taken place in there. Mm.
So everybody that's listening with you, Angie, is opening at this point. They receive this new level, this new flow of energy. Inviting everybody to notice any tension anywhere in your form. And then if there's a particular piece of energy field work that needs to be done to open that part of your form, just allow the hands of the Creator to reach in and do that piece of work. Opening, being restored to your original design, able to fully receive and bring in presence into the world that pure state of being that you were designed for. I am a being of light. Only light can come to me. Only light can be where I am. Allow those words to flow through you. Bring them into vocal expression. I am a being of light.
I'm a being of light.
Only light can come to me.
Only light can come to me.
Only light can be where I am.
Only light can be where I am. Only light can be where I am.
Let your spine open. Tyler, perhaps you would just, in representing all of us, give Angie a kiss on the forehead that lets her know how much she's cherished.
Thank you, Diesel.
So my honest thought for you at this moment is to just take a little while to let yourself breathe and rest and let the restructuring that needs to happen take place. Massive.
Yeah. My deepest prayers of appreciation and love and reverence, thanksgiving. I'm celebrating with you all.
And we with you.
Thank you.
Well, as Dr. Tim would say, you are welcome and deserving. Tyler, thank you for your support. Say again?
So I'm thankful to be a part of it.
Yay, I'm with you. I am too. We are all so blessed. And Angie, thank you for trusting us.
Thank you for your trustworthiness, your honor. Thank you. Thank you for your integrity and your commitment.
Well, remember that it's all done with smoke and mirrors, so we know who you're really looking at. Yeah.
I'm going to mute, Michael. Thank you all. Thank you, Jeannie.
Okay.
So,
thank you. I'm feeling blessed by the work you just did, so thank you. Much, much deep appreciation. And rest.
yeah. Yes.
Darren says he's boomeranging that love back to you, and Joan says she's sharing and kissing you on the forehead, so you got a sweet kiss from Joan. And Tyler, Joan says she's sending love to you too. So all those messages are there in the Heartland 2019 WhatsApp group. Oh. Well, Jeannie, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Excellent process for all of us. Part of that.
Yeah, Susan and Tim send you a thumbs up, a wink, and a set of praying hands. And Urati says she's holding the space. So you touched a lot of people today. That's really sweet. And I know for me, what I want to do is just go and breathe now for an hour or two. So I'll join you in breathing.
if I'm still on, I just would like to offer that Ruka is really still very strongly online, and I can feel the cellular communication happening structurally. Kundalini's moving throughout the system, and I feel like an antenna who's adjusting organically according to Ruka's guidance.
Yay.
So much love to everybody.
Awesome. Joining you in the process.
I'll join you tomorrow and share. Yeah.
Sweet. We'll look forward to hearing you tomorrow.
Sweet. Thank you all.
All right. And we're down to the last minute or so it's timing. And the sweet process. Appreciation to everybody for holding the space, being there so powerfully. And we also hold a space for the processing of all of the fear and what is going on in the world today. Can we breathe the same breath and transmute that trauma and that fear into love? Transmute it with the presence of love and reflect that active presence of love into the world so that anyone who's on the verge of being able to step into the kind of processing that Angie just did, that they're supported and are able to just cleanse their instrument of all this trauma that's been instilled. And we hold the space for everybody to have the best year yet of your eternal life. It is an awesome gift of the world. Blessings.